Welcome to Tuesday. Today we always talk about my life as a Disney cast member. Now today we're going to talk about something that everyone is always curious about. Today we're going to talk about what happens at Magic Kingdom when it closes. Like Magic Kingdom after dark. Some of the myths that people hear about is that one, that the music never turns off, the rides never stop, the animatronics are always going, so on and so forth. Now, I can personally attest, and I can tell you that all of that is false. And part of Disney's conservation efforts, the music is turned off to save electricity, the rides are powered down for maintenance and to save electricity, so are the animatronics. One, it's a safety issue because there are cast members walking around doing maintenance on the rides, around the ride. Oh, and also the lighting. Now the lights do stay on, but the lighting is severely reduced. Just like when they say during the fireworks, the lighting will be severely reduced around Magic Kingdom. That's how it is at night. A lot of the lights are still on, but really just enough for people to be able to see and walk around. The lighting is dimmed in a lot of places, so some areas are relatively dark. Like New Fantasyland, like Ariel's Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, that area is relatively dark. Main Street is usually lit up, sometimes it's not, so Main Street can get pretty dark. The rides and the music, that all turns off at night. Now obviously during the day, they can't do too much maintenance around the park, any major maintenance. Like they'll do little cleaning, obviously the custodian crew is cleaning still, and they'll do minor repairs and such to attractions that need it so they can get back up and running for the guests. However, anything major does happen during the night, such as like concrete work or major ride maintenance and checks. That all gets done at night. That's when they do the majority of the big cleaning. They have hose down crews that'll come out and they hose down the entire park pretty much and get all the loose dirt and debris and wash it down the drain or sweep it up, whatever the issue is. Like big leaves and stuff, they'll wash it to the drain, it won't go down the drain, so they'll go by and sweep it up after. They have like miniature street sweepers that go around and vacuum and wash the sidewalk, so to speak. And during the night is when I do most of my work. Now what that work is, I'm still not going to tell you, but that is when I do most of my work. I mostly work, like you guys probably know, I mostly work early mornings to early afternoons, sometimes midnight to noon, sometimes 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. So it fluctuates a little bit, but that's when I do most of my work. Inside the park is definitely early morning. Usually at the end of the night, the park closes. Let's say the park closes at 9 o'clock, right after the fireworks. The maintenance on the park usually doesn't start for about 2 hours after the official park closing, because that is typically how long it takes for the park to actually clear of guests. As you know, Disney's not going to be like, all right, 9 o'clock, let's go. Get out of here. No, they still let people buy stuff at certain restaurants and shop in certain stores, especially down Main Street. And they don't really rush you out. It's really, you'd have to be there a long time for them to actually physically say, hey, you need to leave. Sometimes it takes 2.5 hours for the park to clear, so I mean, it does take time. The maintenance overnight, typically you have a short, very, very short window, especially during like ticketed events like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween, where the park's open till midnight and then reopens at 9 the next day. That if you do midnight plus 2 hours, that's 2 a.m. The park opens at 9, so that gives you 7 hours. But the park has to be clear of support equipment and vehicles an hour and a half before the park opens. So that's 7:30. So now you only have 5.5 hours to do maintenance on the park, which, as you know, Magic Kingdom is a big place. That's not a whole lot of time to get all your ducks in a row for the morning. Now, obviously Disney does a great job at doing that because every morning the park looks pretty much spick and span. In the early mornings, after the park's empty of all guests, it's really a different kind of atmosphere to walk around the park, because the music does linger for like an hour after the park closes, and it starts about an hour before the park opens. So it's really different kind of atmosphere, and it's really unique because it's empty. Like when I'm there, there's probably maybe 100 people in the park, maybe. I mean, I would venture to say that maybe there's 50 people in the park. So you get to walk around Magic Kingdom with really nobody around you. You can kind of walk and do as you please. Now obviously you can't ride the rides, or you can't buy like popcorn or cotton candy or anything, but you do get a good feeling of being able to just kind of walk around without people nudging into you all the time. So it's really a unique experience. It's also a great time to get like pictures of like the castle or anything like that, you know, it's empty. Now obviously you can't take like prohibited backstage photos, but you know, I see people all the time taking pictures of the castle with nobody in front of it, like just before sunrise. It's a good photo op. Or they'll take pictures of Space Mountain, or you know, whatever they feel like taking a picture of. So it really is a different kind of feeling being able to walk around the park. I get to see the castle being dressed in Christmas lights and being tested. So I get to see all these things before they're officially displayed to the park and the guests. I get to see a lot of different things working these kind of hours, which is interesting. When I used to work at Animal Kingdom, I got to see like Pandora at night, like really night, like pitch black, and they'll have some of the lights turned off, so that's a really weird kind of experience. Dinosaur, oh my god. I have to tell you this story.
You were scared.
At Animal Kingdom, you know the ride Dinosaur, it's off in Dino Land. Animal Kingdom is by far the darkest park after hours out of all of them. I've been to all of them at night, and Animal Kingdom is the darkest. Darkest part of Animal Kingdom is definitely Dino Land. There's like no lights on for whatever reason. It's very difficult to see, especially up the little trails. There's like Crustacean Trail, which is where Daisy, I think, is usually there. There's a meet and greet. There's a dinosaur there with like paint cans around him and stuff. That's Crustaceous Trail. Anyway, I was there one morning. It was just after I watched a scary movie, so you know how that goes. And I was there doing my thing. It was dark. No music on, no sound effects on, nothing, no lights. All I had was a little headlamp, and I was, you know, working. And all of a sudden, they turn on the sound effects, and the first one to play is just a giant T-Rex roar, like a I kid you not, my heart skipped a beat, and I turned around and went somewhere else to work.
I wonder how many bad words came out of your mouth that morning.
Yeah, there were a few expletives that I said, but it was a very, very unique experience, to say the least. Another Dino Land story. See, I've never gotten scared in Magic Kingdom, but Animal Kingdom, I don't know what it is, but I was in Dino Land again, I think on the same trail, Crustaceous Trail. I was just doing my thing, I was walking by, working, and in the corner of my eye, I see this figure coming out of the bushes. And I see it in the corner of my eye. You know, it's early, you're still a little tired. I think I was a little sleep deprived at that point, so I see it. And it just, my eye starts focusing on it. And I turn real quick. Heart skips a beat again. It was so scary. And it's this monster in the bushes. And it takes me a second to orientate myself and flash my light. And it just turns out it was one of the little statues of the dinosaur. I wish I could have recorded it, because it was funny. I must have looked like an idiot. I can imagine what the people around me were thinking, like, doesn't he know that's fake? It's not going to come right after him? I spent my good first 10-11 months with Disney at Animal Kingdom and the Animal Kingdom Lodge. So I have a lot of stories from there, and I've spent the last 5 or 6 months now, 4 months, something like that, at Magic Kingdom and the different resorts around there. So most of my stories are Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom specific. Those are little insights into what happens at Magic Kingdom and me getting scared at Animal Kingdom overnight. If you guys have any questions, comments, things you want to ask me, feel free. I'll answer them in the comments below if I can. If you have any, I don't know, ideas or stories you want to hear, let me know. I'll be more than happy to share them. That was this week's My Life as a Disney Cast Member. I hope to see you guys next week. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a good thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye! It's a yo-yo. Yo-yo.